welcome to my channel. Another reality changing video, all about how we change our reality in the moment based on our feelings and thoughts. In the actual moment, when you make a decision in your mind to do something, you are on that path. When you have a feeling in the moment, you are on that path. When you have a thought that leads to a feeling, you are on a different path than you were, say, seconds before. You've shifted in that moment. I'm just going to tell you a brief story. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I just don't want to yet, but I will at some point. Basically, something has happened in my life and it's a curveball. And if you're one of my members, then you will know the whole story and how it happened and everything. But I'm not going to talk about that here. But I did want to say that the start of it happened yesterday and I committed to something. And when I had started with this particular thing, I hadn't been sure about it at all. First of all, I just thought, no, that's not for me. I don't want that. It's just not, because I hadn't experienced like it before and I didn't like it, so I thought I didn't want to. As the week went on, like I said, it's difficult because I'm not talking about the whole story at the moment, but I will at some point come back and sort of tell you what's going on. As the week went on, I started being much more relaxed about it. I thought, oh, why not? I'm cutting my nose off to spite my face. This could be a good opportunity. I wanted a new opportunity. This is it. Not what I expected, but there you go. But I hadn't kind of retold myself this, as it were, if you know what I mean. So I hadn't really adjusted my feelings officially, if that's the way to put it. So this is what happened. Time was getting on and I was due to be in town in a studio, a photography studio in town in Bath yesterday, and I was trying to get there for 2 o'clock, and I thought, that's okay, I'll leave at 1 o'clock. I'll get the park and ride. I'll never park in Bath on a Saturday. It's pointless trying. I'll get the park and ride. So I was getting all ready. And then Jeremy said, oh, I can just drop you if you want. And then you just make your own way back. And I said, oh, we don't have to, but yeah, that'll be cool. And I thought that'd be great because I'll get dropped right by the studio. I don't have to walk through town. You know, I was getting all ready. It was a photo shoot, so again, it's a long story. So that's what he did. But we were driving into town and you've never seen anything like the traffic. I've never actually seen anything like this traffic in Bath ever. And it's always busy in Bath on a Saturday. And we were queued down this main road to get into the town and it was not moving at all. It was not moving, it's completely, and I started to panic, thinking, oh my God, I'm just not going to get there. And I knew that I had a deadline till 3 o'clock. It was too late. And I thought, geez, I don't think I'm going to get there. Never known. It just wasn't moving. It was inching forward. And then we looked on the sat nav, you know, like Waze, I think it was we were using. Every road was solid. Every road around Bath, there was nowhere we could go. We couldn't even divert so we realised something had happened. And I just thought, oh my God, I have to phone them and say that I can't do this. So I sat there and thought, hang on a minute, but you really want this. So if you don't get this, and I thought, I haven't adjusted that properly inside of me. So I said, okay, right. I sat there and I went, I really want this. Because I'd got to the point of thinking, I do actually really want this now. It's actually quite exciting. And I'd come around to the idea and I thought, do you really want this? And I thought, yes, I do. I really want this and I want to get there in plenty of time. And I absolutely kid you not, about a few seconds later, we just started moving and we started moving quite quick and everything was moving. Jeremy's like, this is weird. And then we get through town and we go the way that we're going and everything was clear, like totally clear. I got there. So for me thinking I wasn't going to get there, I got there within 5 minutes after that. And Jess said, that must have been like some sort of anomaly. That's so weird. And I just thought, you think to yourself this, don't you? Did I really do that? Or was that just going to happen anyway? There was a massive accident, it turned out, and it caused all this trouble. And when I got to where we were going, it happened around that area and there was ambulances there and fire and police and everything. But it had just started to sort itself. And I truly believe from the bottom of my heart, me having that feeling just cleared it in a moment. I know that sounds crazy, but I really do believe that. But part of you always goes, but maybe it was going to happen anyway. But I adjusted my feelings to go, no, I really want this. So of course I was going to get it. I had no resistance because part of me thought, well, if I don't make it, I don't make it. You know, I know that they'll organise it for me again at another point, but I didn't want to mess anybody around. I hate letting people down. And so I got there and I did it. And I will talk about it when more comes of it, but it was just a really good experience and I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I was really glad I did it. And I thought that was a curveball, but that was meant for me. So I believe that I affected space and time in the moment. Just in that moment, everything changed in that very moment that I had that strong feeling. But because I'd had the initial feeling that I didn't want to do that, my reality was panning out in line with that because I'd never really sat down and recalibrated, I guess that's the word. I just kind of let that feeling still be there. Even though I was getting more relaxed about it, I still had the initial feeling that I don't want this. So reality was giving me that. until I said, oh my God, no, I actually do want this. And then bang, it happens. And it was a whole great afternoon. I really enjoyed myself. And I did something completely out of the realms of what I ever expected to do at my age. And, it panned out just for the best. Now, I could have had that, I really want this, and gone and done it and not enjoyed it. Of course that could happen. I was just getting the opportunity. But I do believe that you bend space and time in the moment. So something you think about in the week, let's say something happens to you, and you have an opportunity and then you have a reaction to that. You either do want to do it or you don't want to do it. So you feel, I really don't want that. Then your reality has changed in that moment and you'll go along and this thing will not happen because you have felt strongly, no. You've put that wall up, no. Or you felt, I really want to do that. So your reality's gone a whole different way. So all of the little things that happen along the way to that manifestation are going to be different either way, with whichever feeling you had. Imagine yourself split in two. One of you feels one thing, one of you feels another thing. One's going this way, one's going that way. You're not going the same way. You're not having the same experience because you've had a different feeling. So everything is based on your feeling in the moment. Your reality is unfolding from that point based on that. And then you might change your mind about something and it goes the other way. I've done that. I've had a really strong feeling that I wanted something, and when it got halfway to getting it, I didn't want it anymore. I really thought, I really don't want this. And I changed my reality again, and it didn't happen because my intention had changed. So you can do that. I think Neville would say, once you've had that strong feeling, there's nothing you can do to change it. Now, I do disagree with that. If you leave it alone, it's going to happen, and that's that. But if you step in there and go, hang on, no, this is what I want. So you have a strong feeling of what you actually do want, which might be different to what that. Sometimes we let our feelings run away with us and we have a strong feeling about something. And if we don't keep it in check, if we don't go to it and go, hang on a minute, I don't want this. What can I do to counteract this? It is going to happen. Because you can have a very overwhelming feeling, or your mind can get carried away with you. You start thinking about something, not even something that you want to happen, but something that kind of, say you have an argument with somebody in your head, and you feel better because there's things that you want to say to them, but you wouldn't say to them in real life. And then something happens, not necessarily that you have that exact argument. Sorry, I'm talking a bit fast today. I've gone back to my fast speed, but it's really cold out here, so I'm trying to get it finished quick, and I think subconsciously I'm speeding up. So not necessarily that you would have that exact argument, but something will happen with that person that is negative, that is in line with that vibe that you had in your head when you were having that argument in your head. But again, it's all changing in the moment. Your reality is constantly changing based on those thoughts and feelings. Now, there will be people that say, well, there's no way that you could suddenly change the traffic. I'm not changing the traffic, I'm just changing my reality. I'm changing the one that I'm in. I'm not changing anything on the outside. I'm not suddenly making this accident clear up and the person to go off in the ambulance and I'm not personally doing that. All I'm doing is selecting the reality that I want to experience. And in that moment, I had to make it clear, no, I really want this. And I really felt it. I do this sometimes. If I've been waiting for something, and I don't like the word waiting really, but if I notice that something isn't here and I've wanted it for a while, I will re-establish that feeling. So I think, okay, and I give it a boost, and it's not on after that. It normally happens. I will just go, do you still want this? Yeah, I do. How much do you want it? And really, I try and really feel it. I really want this. Nothing wrong with doing that. Just you thinking you really want something does not stop it from coming. And that's what I would do. And so that's what I did in that moment. I re-established my feeling, and my feeling was different than it was at the beginning of the week, but I hadn't kind of had that secondary feeling. So I was getting the first feeling. My reality was showing to me, you're not going to get here. So you're going to get out of this. So it's not going to happen because you don't want it to happen. And it's going to be because of the traffic. And then that would have happened. That would have panned out because I never reconnected with myself. I don't know, whichever way you want to look at it. And I did. And then it happened. And it was so weird because we'd been sat in the traffic for like half an hour. It was inching forward and we still had a couple of miles to go. And it just wasn't going to happen. I just thought, I'm just going to have to abandon it. We can't even get out of the traffic because we're stuck in it now. And then it just went bang in a moment. And it wasn't like the cars just started moving slowly. No, they just started moving like they normally would on a weekday. It was so weird. You got around the corner, nothing. And it was really funny because on the map, the Waze map, it was still showing everything as completely solid. And there was nothing. We were just sailing through. I mean, it could have been like, times in the day, like 3 o'clock in the afternoon where people are at work and or well, no, because that's school let out time, isn't it? But say 4 o'clock then, when the schools are cleared, people are still at work, so it's quite an empty time and you can get through the city fairly fast. It was like that. It was so weird, but it was awesome. I got there. But like I said, I will tell you more about this, I'm sure, at some point, but I don't know when. It depends what starts to come of it, I don't know. So that's that. So I hope that made sense, and I hope I didn't talk too fast. I hope you could keep up. I'm really sorry, I'm actually shivering out here because we've got no underfloor heating, and we turn the radiators off out here generally in the winter, and they're off today, and it's cold. So I'm gonna end it there.